Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today we are unpacking the release notes for Teamcenter version 2606. Honestly, whether you spend your entire day swimming in product data or you're the IT administrator keeping the whole machine running smoothly, an update like this is a huge deal. We're going to look at exactly how this specific release transforms your daily workflows, highlighting some massive leaps forward in efficiency, rock-solid security, and just overall everyday usability. So get ready, because the tools you use every single day are about to get a serious upgrade.
All right, let's dive right into this. Here is our roadmap for today. We're looking at a better user experience, faster data and file management, streamlined admin and deployment, and finally, next-level security upgrades.
Starting off with Section 1, a better user experience and really tailoring Teamcenter to you.
So, the most immediate change you're going to notice is this fully personalized homepage dashboard. You're no longer stuck in that rigid grid system. Now, you actually have the power to completely customize the content and how it's arranged. You can add, replace, resize, and shuffle cards around to fit exactly how your brain works and keep your most important tasks right front and center.
And it's not just about the layout. The whole look and feel just got a massive upgrade with these new Siemens-branded themes. There's the framed theme, which is the new default, plus dedicated light and dark themes. But my personal favorite, the system theme. It automatically syncs up with whatever your operating system prefers. And this isn't just to make things look sleek. These color-balanced themes are literally designed to give your eyes a break during those long, intense workdays.
Switching themes is super easy, right from your profile menu. But what's really cool is what's happening under the hood here. The interface is incredibly responsive now. If you're running Teamcenter in a narrow window, maybe embedded in another app or just on a smaller screen, the interface actually adjusts intelligently to maximize your real estate. So you keep your productivity up no matter how weird your window configuration gets.
Moving right along to Section 2, faster data and file management, or as I like to call it, working smarter.
Okay, let's talk about copy and paste. I know, it sounds super basic, right? But man, when you're managing massive, complex product structures, those old rigid copy-paste limits were kind of a nightmare. Well, Teamcenter 2606 introduces some massive quality of life improvements here. Get this. You can now copy a single object and paste it to multiple targets all at once. You can even copy multiple objects of different types and paste them to a single target or multiple targets in one go. Plus, they've added a paste special command so you can dictate the exact relationship an object has to its new target. It's a real game changer.
And when you execute this right inside the Explorer tree, you can actually see your selected objects and destinations at the exact same time. I mean, think about the time savings here. Instead of doing the exact same tedious click 5 times in a row, you just do it once. It drastically speeds up how fast you can build out complex structures.
Now here's another huge time saver: navigating attachments. We all know the old way, right? Having to navigate completely away from your main workspace just to check some related item details. Well, say hello to the new inline tree. You can now browse attachments and subfolders directly within the Explorer tree view. It saves literally countless clicks because you stay perfectly in context while digging into complex product workflows. You see what you need instantly without ever losing your spot.
And when it's time to clean up data, 2606 finally brings us some much-needed deletion assistance. Have you ever tried to delete an object and just hit a total wall of errors? It's so frustrating. Now the system actually gives you clear visibility into what's blocking the deletion before you even try. You get a preview of all the items scheduled to be deleted, and you can safely select related data to ensure everything gets cleaned out comprehensively without breaking any referenced objects.
Because at the end of the day, finding precise data immediately is the ultimate goal, right? The search and indexing upgrades here are just phenomenal. You can build out these really complex, property-specific searches using operators. Also, if you use Copilot, it now smartly pulls results from indexed and embedded object properties, not just embedded file contents. You don't have to sift through a mountain of irrelevant junk anymore. The system actually understands what you're asking for. Oh, and you can even index compound properties on objects that don't have their own storage class.
All right, that brings us to Section 3, streamlined admin and deployment. Let's look under the hood.
First off, check out the new centralized First Stop documentation homepage. If you've ever felt like you were on a wild goose chase trying to find specific product help pages, those days are absolutely over. Everything is consolidated into one unified hub now. It replaces all those scattered pages and brings interactive process flows, graphics, and procedural videos into one single easy-to-navigate location.
When it comes to global deployment, we've got some really crucial wins. Admin life just got way easier with the new Copy Environment button in the Deployment Center.
It literally clones production setups instantly, totally bypassing those tedious manual export and import steps. We're also seeing full Ukrainian language localization across the UI, data entry, servers, and clients. And this is a big one for system integrations. If you're hooking up Microsoft Email with Teamcenter, it now strictly requires the modern OAuth 2 authentication protocol, which keeps your comms locked down and secure.
Which perfectly segues into our final section, number 4, next-level security upgrades. Let's talk about keeping the enterprise safe.
Because, security starts right at the front door. The single sign-on, or SSO, setup has been heavily hardened. In previous setups, SSO entries were stored kind of loosely in a general properties file. Now, there's a dedicated SSO.properties file. But here's the kicker. During installation, the system generates a unique cryptographic hash just for this file. So every single time a user logs in, the system checks that hash. If a bad actor tampers with that file even a tiny bit, the login process just completely halts. Absolutely no compromised configurations are slipping through.
And for organizations dealing with highly sensitive data, enabling FIPS-compliant encryption is literally just a simple toggle in the deployment center now. This isn't just a nice-to-have feature, by the way. Federal Information Processing Standards compliance is an absolute necessity if you're a U.S. government agency or defense contractor. Teamcenter now fully supports these FIPS-compliant encryption libraries for all secure client and server communications.
Finally, let's look at this new CSP-compliant evaluation engine. Okay, let's strip away the heavy technical jargon for a second. Basically, this replaces older frameworks for handling dynamic expressions in JSON-defined components. Why does this matter? Well, this specific engine upgrade is exactly what aligns Teamcenter with some of the most stringent global cybersecurity regulations out there, like NIS 2 and the EU Cyber Resilience Act. It keeps your existing behavior intact, but wraps the whole shebang in a much safer execution environment.
So, taking all of this in, upgrading to Teamcenter 2066 clearly isn't just about getting a fresh coat of paint or some nice new UI colors. It's about driving fundamental, deep security, streamlining global deployments, and maximizing daily efficiency for every single person logging in. The tools are absolutely here, so the real question is your organization ready to fully leverage these capabilities and transform the way you work? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope this deeper look empowers you to get the absolute most out of your systems.